Welcome to Season 4, Episode 17 of The Buzz with yours truly, Mama T. I've got a special treat for you today. This guy is an exceptionally talented musician. His name is Keeton Coffman. And if you're on Facebook at all and you listen to any kind of music on Facebook, you'll have seen his posts. The way I found him was just like that. And it said, free CD. Just pay for shipping. So I did, and I got it, and I listened to it, and I was mind blown. So I finally got a hold of this guy, and we've got him tonight. Yay! So, of course, we have to hear from Grand Forks Best Source, but we'll bring him right back. Today's episode is sponsored in part by Grand Forks Best Source. They're a cutting-edge local media broadcasting studio with captivating shows, on-location event coverage, and unparalleled advertising opportunities. Grand Forks Best Source has become a haven for podcasters like me seeking to bring their visions alive. If you're a podcaster looking for studio or platform, or a local business seeking to advertise, go ahead and email Paul at local@gfbestsource.com. You can call him at 701-740-9337, or you can go to their website that's listed on your screen there, gfbestsource.com. Tell them Mama T sent you. Welcome to the show, Keeton.
Guys, how's it going?
Awesome. I am so glad I finally got a hold of you.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Oh, do you do any podcasts?
Anytime I'm asked. Not thousands or hundreds by any means.
Sweet. Then you kind of know the drill. I'm going to ask you questions. You're going to answer them, but I'd rather it feel more like a conversation.
Yeah.
Because,
I'm up for that.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to ask you the first question because everybody wants to know, and this is always the first thing I ask. How did you grow up? Like, when did you know that you wanted to be a musician? How did that all unfold?
Well, I always wanted to be one, but I didn't grow up in like a musical family, and I didn't really, they were very musical, but it wasn't by trade. And so I was actually a pretty gifted gymnast. So I was a junior Olympic national champion until I was like 20. So that was kind of the career. That's what I was going to do. Yeah. And then I got hurt when I was 20. Just, shoulder was done. And, but whenever we drive around in the back of the van, I'd be the guy with a guitar, just like trying to like, hey, you guys want to hear this song or whatever. So it was just sort of like the thing I did around my friends. And then when I got into college, I went to school in Austin, University of Texas. So there's tons of music around, and that was kind of the time I met the right crew and started a band and, started recording. And then after that, I was just like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
So I saw the 71s somewhere.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know how you found that, but that was the first iteration, at least of my music. Anything you've heard is actually two people. So Keeton Coffman, that's me. But I have a studio in Houston, and I play most of the instruments, and then any guitar work you're hearing on the record and the mixing is done by a guy named Ryan Cecil. He lives in Colorado. So we internet, share through the cloud. But our band was called the 71s. So we met in college, and then we started touring in this band, and then we went bankrupt. And then we broke up. And then about 3 years went by, and I decided I'd like to, do this again, but just differently. And Ryan was there. So we've still been partners. And he's actually this month going to start playing live with us again as we start touring. So I'm really pretty pumped.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. So that's right.
See, I dated a musician for 3.5 years. I'd known him most of my life. I knew him. I was friends with him for 30 years. And you don't get into music to be a millionaire.
Yeah, I mean, nah, I
So
don't.
when you said you went bankrupt, I was like, what? Not really surprised. And it doesn't
Yeah,
have anything to
yeah,
do with not being talented. A lot of people don't understand that. You
yeah.
can be as talented as you want, you can have all the gifts in the world, but you can still not make money playing music.
Sure, that's
It's
100% true.
it's more of a who you know, and you do it because you love doing it. Did you ever feel like you weren't gonna make it, like when the 71s broke up? How long did it take you? A long time to decide, like what made you finally decide to bring it back together?
Oh, I mean, I guess to take it even, a step further, there's, about every 2 years, I think maybe I should quit. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard, but it's all about metrics and like that you don't need to place on yourself. The purpose of surfing is to surf. It's not to win surfing competitions. The purpose of, um, gardening is growing things. It's not to sell them at the market. So, if being in like commercial music, like that's an avenue. Being an artist, that's another avenue. And so whenever you place metrics on that aren't intended to be there, maybe you're meeting them, maybe you're not. But the point is, if you're doing it and you shouldn't be, it can cause you to lose track of what the reward in music is. And maybe I'm getting a little too deep too fast, but the truth of it is, yeah, making music for the sake of music is great for me. And yeah, certainly, everybody struggles with that along the way. But yeah, I try to keep it front and center.
Did COVID mess you up at all?
Um, no, actually, I was first off, I was lucky to not, lose anybody. Nobody got super sick, so that was great. I mean, I got sick, but did have to go to the hospital. I also have a music school. So one way that I've kind of sustained a living as a musician who also likes to have a family, which I have, is I created a music school about 10 years ago, and it's called Rehearsal Room Music School. So it's here in Houston, and there's actually two of them now. So that's kind of helped me balance needing to make money on the road. And we were able to do a lot of things online, and I didn't have to play live during COVID. So I was pretty blessed. There are a lot of artists out there that didn't quite have that provision. So I was pretty lucky. Yeah.
So how did that come about? The rehearsal room. Do you teach? Did you just like fund the
Yeah.
school? Like
Yeah.
what do you do there?
No, it was complete. I don't want to say like an accident. Just never really dreamed of really having it when I quit my job to tour because we were starting to have too many dates to make it home by um, I needed something in the middle. And so, I had friends that'd be like, hey, can you teach my son guitar and da, da, da. And I just liked it. I just liked being a big brother. I liked coaching when I was in gymnastics. So that sort of evolved into me showing people not just like guitar scales, but like, hey, you got this. Like, let me help you write your song. And that just grew into something really cool. So yeah, the school is there. It's awesome. There's two locations. There's like 225 students, and they start with certain instruments, and then they start learning how to be an artist. So it's got a little bit more of an artist-driven thing than like your, School of Rock, Music Lesson Academy kind of thing. So yeah, that's
What's
how
the
it
age
happened.
range? What's the age range of your students?
5 to 75. I mean, we've got, yeah,
Oh.
we have a lot of empty nesters who are in their first band, and then they're in cover bands now, and they make a little bit of money every weekend playing at the whatever. And
Because
then
of
we have,
you.
huh?
Because of you.
Yeah, at this level, it's also because of the other staff and the teachers. It's not just me teaching everybody. And so, yeah, it's just, I think a lot of people like me, the employees are like me. They've got artistic careers, and then they love sharing their music with other people. And that's how the thing sort of proliferated. And I mean, it's just, yeah, it all happened very naturally. It was hard. I mean, certainly I've worked hard at it, but never, no, I wasn't like 20 being like, I'd love to have some music schools. Like I never ever pictured that.
What's the best thing about the music schools? What's your favorite thing?
Yeah, I can't answer that question. A legacy, just seeing art, continue in. I didn't have a home, as a younger artist. I didn't have a home. There was nobody who was like, you're not different. You're just like me. You're just like us. And that's the best part of Rehearsal Room. So
that's awesome. Did you struggle at all with like online classes? You did some of this during COVID, right?
We did them during COVID and we survived. And then once COVID was over, we just went back to our in-person model. That's kind of like where the heart and soul of the place is, mostly because all of our lessons are recording sessions. So as you come in and you start learning guitar, we get you recording like right away. It's all about making tracks and creating things. So yeah.
Okay, so this is the Rehearsal Room in Houston, you said?
Yeah, just Rehearsal Room Music School. So
okay. Well,
where are you?
Do you have a website for that one?
We do, rehearsalroommusic.com. Where are you?
Northern Minnesota.
Oh wow. Oh, God bless you.
So I've got fans everywhere.
So, I mean, I guess if people hop on there and they're like, yeah, I want to check this out. Of course, we can teach them online. I didn't even really think of that. So, yeah, and just say, hey, yeah, I heard Keeton, he's the owner, and they can just take a free lesson. It's online. It's easy to sign up. It's great.
And see, this is how we get them back after the commercials. So now, after the commercials, we're going to play Violet of Coefficient of Fiction.
That's right.
Coefficient of Fiction. That was the one that I got. And I wasn't even thinking about like being able to pull this stuff offline and off your website and stuff. So when my producer was here in town, I said, here's the CD. You can take songs off of it and put his picture over it, after the breaks, And then I was like, after he left, I was like, wait, I bet there's a website. And that's when I messaged you. I'm like, wait, do you have videos?
Yeah,
you have videos, don't you?
Just download it if you want to.
I was just gonna be like, oh look, this is the one, Well, I can't do that.
On that note, why that started was, Spotify I think is great. I use Apple Music. I think it's great, but there's just something about getting something from somebody. And yeah, for the cost of shipping, I just send people free CDs and I sign them. I think you probably got the little photo that I take. I took that one, I signed that, and I sent a little playlist card just because it's just a great way, I think, to get to know an artist. It's a gift pack. So we send them out.
Awesome. It was like, I felt so special. It was so personal. You wrote my name on it and everything. Yeah. I was like, this guy is really cool. I pulled it out and listened to it right away. I mean, that's, and see, I agree with you. Something solid that you can hold in your hand, because what if, God forbid, our satellites fall out of the sky and we've got no more internet?
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
You can't, even if you paid for it, you can't get stuff online.
Yeah.
Or what if these places go out of business? These places that you've paid to listen to the music on, what if they go out of business or go bankrupt? You won't have access to that stuff that you already paid for.
Sure. I mean, that's a really great point. For me, it's, my mom just kind of raised me writing thank you notes. It's just my way of sending a thank you note to somebody for listening to the music. It's like, hey, I want one of these. Here's $5 to make a mailer happen. And it's just my way of saying thanks so much for listening. Here you go.
And that's awesome. That is like, that to me, that's comparable to like being on stage and connecting with your audience and, making, like, you don't just go up there, grab the mic and start singing a song. You engage the audience, you talk to them a little bit. That's one of the reasons I like going live. Because, well, today we might not have as many people.
Just Super Bowl, yeah.
I wasn't thinking about that when I booked you. Normally I've got I do have Ricky. Ricky's also watching the Super Bowl. I know he is, but he did pop on and he did say hi.
Oh, man.
He just wanted me to know he was there. Thank you. See, if he's watching the Super Bowl and he can say hi, the rest of you can too.
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
Exactly.
And, maybe they'll tune in at halftime.
Maybe so.
I shouldn't have said that, but, maybe. Maybe they'll watch me. That'll be a little bit. Let's see. Yes, I know. 2 minutes. Got 2 minutes. So, a young kid tells you, I've been thinking about maybe picking up the guitar. Say he's 10 years old. What do you tell him?
I mean, do it. That's it.
Well,
Do it.
but what if it costs money and his parents might not be able to afford it and, has all excuses?
Yeah, I mean, well, first off, yeah, money's real, like it can be expensive. I feel like I'm actually putting on the music school hat guy. The best thing about Guitar Center is you can buy those things used for like $40 now. Facebook Marketplace, $20. So you can get a guitar in your hands for, the cost of almost a movie ticket these days.
Right.
And the next thing I would say is, and I know this is, try and avoid YouTube music lessons. And the reason for that is music, I feel, is learned best, like all things, which is there's an order to it. As a kid, we have that silly saying about, you can't walk before you crawl, but music happens that way. We hear a song, man, I really want to learn Metallica. Well, that can't come first. So a teacher can really help you order the steps that you take, a good teacher. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, learn what the strings are, learn how to learn a few chords.
Yeah, or learn a song that is going to help you with your habits, not be a stumbling block in and of itself.
Right.
Some songs, they're so catchy and they just help you learn it, as opposed to, man, I got to do like 9 things just to learn the song. That's my advice to all our students is, yeah.
Plus, it's a lot of hard work. You got to make sure you want to. You got to make sure you want to.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You got to commit, man. You got to commit. You got to put in the work. It takes a lot of practice.
Yeah, I agree. Practice is part of it.
Yeah. Oh, we've got someone else. Hi, Allie. She's not. I don't think she's watching the Super Bowl. She's probably not watching the Super Bowl. And she says hello to you. And of course, she tunes in at the first commercial break. So we are going to watch a few ads for our partners and people who support us. And then we are going to play your music video, Violet, from Coefficient of Fiction. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Sounds great.
When it comes to podcasts and social media, stick with the best. Grand Forks' best source. Keep up to date with local happenings and news, interviews with city leaders, athletes, nonprofits, and of course, lots of feel-good stories. Grand Forks' best source is a great way to advertise your business or events with the most economical ad packages available. And contact us to find out how you can have your own podcast with the best studio in the area. Check out Grand Forks' best source on your favorite social media app. Grand Forks' best source, the Forks' best local podcast. Call 701-213-0863 or online at gfbestsource.com. We love the Forks. Grand Forks' best source, giving the Forks their identity again.
What's up, Red Lake Nation Radio? This is your host, DJ Soko. Come join me if you're Acer Donnell from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. every Soko Saturday, where I have a new segment, Soko's Metal Madness Hour from 7 to 8 p.m. bringing the North all the new and classic metal to the masses. The first 3 hours will be the old school hits, the rock and roll classics, and all other genres of music. Even country. So come take a cruise with me, DJ Soko, bringing the fire right here on 105.3 WRLN, Red Lake Nation Radio. Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by AFS Automated Financial Services, your partner for fast, reliable, and affordable payment processing. Whether you're taking payments at the counter, on the go, online, or through a full POS system, AFS makes it easy to get paid anywhere, anytime. They handle credit, debit, EBT, gift, and loyalty cards across every industry, and touchless options available for all in-person transactions. Entrepreneurs and ISOs can even earn monthly residuals through AFS partnership opportunities. The tools are yours. The income is yours. You'll get approvals in under an hour. 24-hour equipment deployment or reprogramming. Low simple rates, matched or beaten, or they pay you, and 24/7 live customer service. You get the technology, rates, and support your business deserves. For a free cost analysis or rate quote, call 1-877-738-5010 or visit automatedfinancialservice.com. AFS, smart technology, real service, better business.
Visit littlebobbybuzz.com, your source for Little Bobby merch and music. Keep up with the bar and don't forget about the buzz with Mama T. That's littlebobbybuzz.com.
Wow. I had not seen the video. So,
Oh yeah,
because I wanted to live react to it.
yeah,
Like,
cool.
because I'd already heard the song. I knew it was a good song because I have the CD. But, and all the music is amazing. But that, and I love how it is shot in purple. I mean, it's violet. I mean, that makes perfect sense. What goes into filming a music video like that?
Um, well, that one was kind of interesting actually. I like editing video as well as making records. And I know I needed a video for Violet, and I'm kind of there's kind of like some directors and some films that I just love how gritty things are. And so I just found this footage and I was like, well, I just want to shoot the band and I want to edit it in such a way that it's a frame thing. Obviously, like I grew up on MTV, and you could have a video like, I mean, like Take On Me is pretty iconic, how like the frame, there's just something so captivating about the way it's edited and the framing and like, why are they showing this image of a wolf? Like what. And so it was a bit of an art thing, me kind of throwing a dart at that target.
So, what kind of music did you listen to growing up? What kind of music inspired you?
Um, as far as songwriters go, in the 80s, I really liked guys who could write, and by guys I mean male and female, who could write like really good radio hits. So whether that was Don Henley, Madonna, Tears for Fears, NXS, U2, like the 80s were just like massive for me. I loved the 80s. And I also felt like in the 80s you didn't quite have as much technical assistance as you do pop music wise now. So like when you saw those bands play live, they had to be like really, really good. And I'm a keys player. And so guys on piano like Bruce Hornsby, really like, I really wanted to be good like that. And then with synths and stuff like that, Genesis, Peter Gabriel, that was huge for me. And then later when I was in college is when I fell in love with Bruce Springsteen. And I think Springsteen has kind of been a central compass for me as a songwriter. So you can hear that a little bit in my voice, I'm sure. But even though I'm not, I don't think I sound like him musically. But yeah, that's kind of how it all sums up, which is kind of weird because I'm technically a 90s baby, but I don't really, those bands I listened to, when I was going to school and stuff, but I don't like go back and listen to like Nirvana or Pearl Jam or those guys as often. I still like them, but it's often.
So what year did you come out when you first came out with the 71s? What year was that?
We made our first, I'd say we made our first good music in like 2010. We had records before that, maybe 2009. Yeah, 2009, 2010. But that's the first music that I think anyone will find online. I don't think anything else is accessible anymore.
Well, so Allie said, can you kind of sum up the first 15 minutes? So I kind of brought up that you were in a band. So what genre do you think the 71s were?
Genre was like, yeah, straight up just rock and roll. I mean, like very traditional. Like when you think of rock, it's not like grunge rock or like pop. It was just rock, big old loud amplifiers, I think a lot of people would have compared us to like, I mean, there was a band, man, I'm trying to think, kind of like somewhere between Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers and Pearl Jam. Like that's probably what we sound like as far as bigger bands that everyone would know these bands. We got compared a lot to a band called Jet, which they had a couple songs. So we love to scream and we love to play loud, guitar amps. but we weren't like heavy or, some of those more aggressive bands. So
Well, and when you came back into it, when you started this new band, at first you were kind of like Americana, kind of
Mhm.
folksy. How did you decide to do it that way? Go that
Yeah,
direction?
not intentionally, when you're just kind of sitting there with your acoustic guitar, which I'd never really done before. I'd always had a band and we wrote songs together. So when you're just you by yourself, it's you versus you trying to bring something out of the guitar, you kind of begin to find those intricacies. And then the record, you don't want to step on them. You kind of want that stuff to come to the forefront. So there was that. And then there was also the fact that when I made my first solo record, which was called Killer Eyes, I was really in love with the production of Motown and a guy named Phil Spector. So those records, those early records kind of had this wall of sound thing. And we just tried to do that, me and Ryan. And, there's horns here, there's strings here, there's a big old percussion section. That was Killer Eyes. Well, you can't really do that live. So, unless you're on a big label with a big dime, so I couldn't really tour that record. It was just by myself, me. And the band kind of came back with, okay, I've got 4 or 5 guys on stage. So that sort of informed the next record, which sounds a little bit more Americana rock and roll.
That's Hard Times?
Yeah, and that's kind of where Hard Times came out of. In between Hard Times and this last record, I got employed by a number of artists in Houston and in Texas to produce their records, and a lot of them were female, and they really loved pop music, so they'd come to me and be like, I really want it to sound like this Taylor Swift song. So I go, okay, well, how do I do that? So you get on YouTube and Wikipedia and you learn about these keyboards and these, and all of them are from the 80s. And so I was kind of revisiting all these records I love, being like, oh, like I know that and this, I just need to buy these instruments. And so then I evolved in making their records. I kind of left behind my own sound. And when it came time to make my new record, I had become this other person, and it wasn't intentional, but that I do remember all of the music evolved. But with this new album, I was like, I don't think anybody's going to like this. And it really was a separation of there's new people like you. And then all the older crew here in Texas was like, what is this? So, yeah.
That's really interesting because so first of all, Bobby was a big blues guy. So when you start talking Motown, I'm like, yeah, I know that guy. Yeah. So, and then we have another viewer. Hi, sweetie. So where can people find Killer Eyes and Hard Times? Are those online at all, or do you still have CDs?
Yeah, all the music is available to stream if that's your thing. I love it when people go buy the music. So you just go to KeetonCoffman.com, click on store, and I'll sign the CD for you. You still get a digital download, like you still get it digitally. It comes right to your inbox. But then in a couple days, I send you a CD. I've signed it. So all of my music's go to the website. That's what I love. Yeah.
And I love how you talk about how you evolved as a musician. Like anybody who like listened to like one of your first albums from the 71s to Coefficient of Fiction, like you yourself can tell the difference. If I listened to one of the 71s albums right now, would I know it was you?
I mean, you can try. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's really hard. Cause I mean, I'm me. So I hear it. I just hear a younger guy, I can hear what I'm trying to accomplish, and I can hear how young I am in my voice. And I don't mean like just my voice, but like what I'm trying to say. Whereas now, Coefficient of Fiction, for you guys, you may be just hearing it. I've had the record made for years. I hear it and I go, that still sounds like me. Like I see that photograph and I go like, I recognize that guy. So maybe I don't know if that answers your question, but I barely know. I barely know that guy. And I listen to him like, man, you're trying hard, buddy. Good for you. Good for you. Keep trying.
Keep trying. And guess what? He kept trying, and now we have Coefficient of Fiction. How did you come up with that name, by the way?
So, for any engineers out there, I studied engineering for a while, and then I quit. There's a term called coefficient of friction. Mm-hmm. So every material in the universe.
I knew that term sounded familiar, but I couldn't.
There's an actual mathematical attribute that says this is when put into equation, you can calculate how much force it'll apply. So that's a coefficient of friction. Well, in my world, the imaginary and the make-believe it's not fake. It still feels like reality is happening to me. It affects me in a real way. That's what art does. And so all of these songs were created fictionally. I mean, there's parts of me in it, but it's for, these are abstract paintings that I was like, hey, here's this character, here's this story, here's this story. So the title is really just about the way that fiction or make-believe and art, it tells the truth about who we really are.
And how they can coexist and how
sure. Yeah.
Where the line is.
Or there is no line. In my opinion.
Shoot. Well, I don't really have time for another question because we got to go to a break. But after this break, we are going to listen to another song off of Coefficient of Fiction, not Friction. We're going to listen to Catherine. And then we're going to talk about a few other things and get some viewer questions.
Sounds great.
When it comes to podcasts and social media, stick with the best. Grand Forks' best source. Keep up to date with local happenings and news, interviews with city leaders, athletes, nonprofits, and of course, lots of feel-good stories. Grand Forks' best source is a great way to advertise your business or events with the most economical ad packages available. And contact us to find out how you can have your own podcast with the best studio in the area. Check out Grand Forks' best source on your favorite social media app. Grand Forks' best source, the Forks' best local podcast. Call 701-213-0863 or online at gfbestsource.com. We love the Forks. Grand Forks' best source, giving the Forks their identity again.
What's up, Red Lake Nation Radio? This is your host, DJ Soko. Come join me if you're Ace or Donnell from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. every Soko Saturday, where I have a new segment, Soko's Metal Madness Hour from 7 to 8 p.m., bringing the North all the new and classic metal to the masses. The first 3 hours will be the old school hits, the rock and roll classics, and all other genres of music. Even country. So come take a cruise with me, DJ Soko, bringing the fire right here on 105.3 WRLN, Red Lake Nation Radio. Yeah.
Grand Forks, start your engines and listen close. The Red River Valley Motorcyclist Spirit of America Bike and Car Show is rolling into the Alara Center for an action-packed weekend you don't want to miss. Saturday, May 2nd and Sunday, May 3rd. Admission is just $10. Kids 12 and under get in free with a paying adult. But here's where it gets big. Raffle tickets are just $50, and only 4,000 tickets will be sold. That's it. Once they're gone, they're gone. Now, those $50 tickets, they give you a shot at over $100,000 in prizes, including a Harley-Davidson Road Glide. Second prize is a Polaris Ranger Crew Cab Trail Boss with trailer. Third prize, a Yamaha Gas Golf Cart. Get your $50 raffle ticket now by calling Tim at 701-739-1605 or stop in at Brewski's. And remember, every dollar raised benefits the Veterans Honor Flight of North Dakota and Minnesota, helping honor the men and women who served our country. $10 to get in, $50 to win big, only 4,000 raffle tickets available. Call 701-739-1605 or visit Brewski's in Thompson today. Spirit of America Bike and Car Show May 2nd and 3rd at the Alaris Center.
Visit littlebobbybuzz.com, your source for Little Bobby merch and music. Keep up with the bar and don't forget about the buzz with Mama T. That's littlebobbybuzz.com.
Wow. That was beautiful. It was heartfelt. It was what is there a Catherine?
So, you know, I get that question a lot. I feel that a lot of times, kind of my least favorite thing with songwriters is when they'll tell me, "Hey, this is what this is," and I had a totally different idea of the song, and it
Oh,
already the meaning of it had already taken root, in my heart, and so when I hear it, I'm like, "Oh, man," So, there
you're
is
not gonna say because you don't want to disappoint anybody?
it's not that I don't want to disappoint it, it's that it's your song. When if you hear it and you like the song, if you like it, there's probably a Catherine for you, and I don't want to buy my story because it's not what you think. Like the name I've attributed to this person, I did it to kind of veil who they are and what they. I can't say the person's not with us anymore, and so the song is really about can love reach further than this thing that we know now, because I'm visited by you. I'm still visited by you. Are you hearing this? And if is there a way for me to bring you closer to me? So I guess I'll leave it at that. But then again, if somebody's also like, I'm dating a Catherine and she's cute, I don't want to take it away. I'm like, does that make sense? So
Yeah, it makes perfect sense because that's why people listen to music, because they have their own idea. Like, say you have a favorite song and it means something to you, and you listen to that song to make you feel better about a certain situation,
yeah,
and then you find out it's not about what you thought it was about at all. So now
yeah.
you don't have that song anymore.
Well,
So,
yeah, I mean that's happened before. I do have songs that are like, 100% autobiographical. That song, I just felt the need because the situation was so special to me, and the fact that when the person was gone, I knew really for the first time in my life, oh, that part of me will never be filled. Like that's never coming back. So now all I have is this reaching for you. Can I bring you home? On wings of love, I've flown. I don't know. And so even when I say the lyrics out loud, I'm like, God, that's so cheesy poetry. But when you hear it in the song, you can feel the desperation of the character.
yes,
Um,
yes,
that's what I was hoping for a little bit.
that's what I felt. You really, it's like you're really putting your heart out there. You can tell that this person is desperate. Yes.
Yeah, love and desperation. They're not far away. They're close
Neither
cousins.
are love and hate. Funny thing. But one thing we forgot to mention: Coefficient of Fiction is also on vinyl.
Yeah, it's my first vinyl. I'm really happy with it. We actually had it mastered for vinyl. So if anybody just has a cheap vinyl player, it's going to sound great. But if you're into it, it's going to sound even better. And it was pressed here in Houston. 610 Records pressed it. So it was really like, this is a special thing. And I designed the artwork. Like I really was hands-on with this thing because I wanted people who, love music to put it on, and that's their Friday.
So we're going to talk about the MSC Live. I want you to talk about the MSC Live 2025 CD and the package that goes with it.
Yeah.
And then maybe you will have time to play us out.
Cool. Well, yeah. So we finished the year doing this hometown show at a place called Main Street Crossing. That's what MSC stands for. And just a packed night. It was an interesting journey over about a year, making the record. How does this thing sound live? Because it's such a studio album. Like, how do we make this thing its own thing. And so, I felt like it got there. And so when we captured it live, I brought it back and I mixed it, and I mastered it. And I was like, this is a really special deal. I mean, I put out live stuff before, but this thing sounds killer. And, let's let the fans be involved. And so actually today is the last day. If you order it, you get your name in the artwork. So I put your name in the artwork, and it comes with a poster from the night. It comes with a signed set list. And then there's actually this photo book. It's just a small but very personalized thing that I made from all of the touring. It's just my journal. It's a photo journal. So all that comes, and it'll get sent off to press tomorrow. So you'll be able to order them whenever you want. But if you want to be in the artwork, just go to KeetonCoffman.com, and you can go to the store and you can order one. So
Yes. Okay. She has 2 questions, so we're going to get through those quick, and then you are going to pick whatever you want and just play us out.
Oh, okay. All right.
Allie says, what do you hope listeners take from listening to your music? How it relates, or
just find their story in it. Yeah, that's why we make it. Just it's like looking at a great painting. When you connect with it, and somehow something is sent to you, and you don't know why. That's the magic of music for me. So.
And what is your most memorable live show, and why?
Good or bad?
Most memorable, either way, I guess.
Well, I will tell you, it will be Friday, February 27th this year, because the guy that I've been making music with for 25 years, when he moved away 5 years ago and we stopped, this record that you're hearing is us making it through the cloud. And now we get to do it again live. So I'm really looking forward to this show and the fact that we'll be touring together. But I guess if you had to go like most memorable, man, I don't know. Gosh, I can't answer that. And I've been doing this a minute. I don't know.
Can you think of what your worst memory is?
Yeah, that one I can think of. And yeah, I've just been heckled by Texas country artist crowds as you're opening for a Texas country artist, and they're those can be a little.
No, sir.
I'll tell you this. Ryan and I played Green Hall, and it's not really like a rock and roll kind of joint. But it has a lot of history. Like George Strait cut his teeth there. So I'm not a country artist, but we were asked to open for this artist 2 nights. Sold out both nights. That's like 800 people. And it was just me and him with our guitars. That was really special for Ryan. And I get to share these songs with people who, they're otherwise they're there listening to country artists, and they were a great crowd. That was pretty cool. So I'll throw that one in there. Green Hall.
Would you ever perform at a casino or at a private show?
Have done it. Both. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I don't know here. So we played those 2. I've got another song called 1,000 Miles. So how much time do we have?
3 minutes.
4 minutes. I closed my eyes and I was there with you. We were fire, burning flames right where we left it. I was young and I was desperate to be with you. In your back seat, I drew in concrete. Never tell these sunshine secrets we've shared to the raindrops in your hair. They don't compare to you. 1,000 miles, holding on to when it was you and me. Honey, you and me. I wanna be with you for 1,000 miles, reaching back to when it was you and me. Honey, you and me. Oh, ooh, oh, oh, ooh. Our love is a moment, baby, did we waste it? I can feel your kiss, I can still taste it, and our love was a moment. Baby, turn the pages, take me back to you, and 1,000 miles, holding on to when it was you and me. Baby, you and me. I wanna be with you for 1,000 miles, reaching back to when it was all you and me. Honey, you and me. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you. And I just wanted to say real quick too, if you want to see him live and you're in Texas, February 26th in Spring, Texas, at the 19th Hole Grill and Bar, 8 p.m. Doors open at 9. Be there. If
And
you're
actually,
down,
we added an Austin date. So you'll see that on the calendar. February 26th, Austin. February 27th, Houston. So if you're around town, thanks for
awesome. Thanks for being here. I had a great time. You're awesome. You're amazing. And you're exceptionally talented.
Thanks for having
you
me.
guys. And next week, who do we have? We've got Allie next week. Live in the Light band. So we'll see you next week. Thanks for being here, Keeton. See you next week, guys.
Bye, guys.
Today's episode is sponsored in part by Grand Forks Best Source. They're a cutting-edge local media broadcasting studio with captivating shows, on-location event coverage, and unparalleled advertising opportunities. Grand Forks Best Source has become a haven for podcasters like me seeking to bring their visions alive. If you're a podcaster looking for studio or platform, or a local business seeking to advertise, go ahead and email Paul at local@gfbestsource.com. You can call him at 701-740-9337, or you can go to their website that's listed on your screen there, gfbestsource.com. Tell them Mama T sent you.